Hey all y'all! I have no idea if I'm actually broadcasting because usually what I use to monitor the YouTube isn't working. Usually I use, I'm in like YouTube Studio monitoring the feed, at least visually. Do I have audio? Yes, good. So I have no idea if this is going through or not. If you are watching, please say hi. Oh, hey, Ever, good. Somebody's here. Wow. Okay, so this will be different. I don't know what's going on with YouTube Studio. It's really, it's frustrating because I can't tell if I'm going live or not. Hi, Samantha. Good morning. I hope you're doing well. So we're going to just wait for a few more people to show up and we'll see if I don't know. Plus, not to mention the fact that, Ever, we can see you sort of. Yeah, I have a feeling that I'm having a network problem. We've been having problems with the internet, so Jillian, it's a rainy day. I have my sweater project. I have my cocoa. Carrie is like, oh, that sounds like a great Sunday, even if you're not with me. Oh, we can hear you. Good. YouTube is not receiving enough video. All right, well, at least the feed is now going through. Seems to be laggy. Yeah, it does. We're going to just forge ahead, I guess. I swear, there's something going on this month with my internet. We had a whole problem with our router. This is the first time that I've had real problems while live streaming. So hopefully this will work out because I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do at this point. We're going to just forge ahead. So, yeah, the gremlins keep coming. The gremlins keep coming this past week. These technical problems have totally thrown me off my game. Ever. It's working now. Okay. Yay. Hey, Bear. Seems better now on my end. Good. Yeah, it seems better on my end as well, too. I can actually see that there's a feed now, whereas before I could not. So, it's live. You never know what's going to happen when you go live. Let me scooch over a little this way. Hey, Whitney. Glad that you're here. Glad that you made it. Yeah. I'm totally off my game right now. I apologize. So let's start with the usual. I have my coffee. Contigo mug. I should put this on my Amazon stuff. But yeah, I don't know what's going on lately with, I don't know if there's a planet in retrograde, if you believe in that sort of thing. I don't know. But there's definitely been things happening. I mean, I sprained my ankle last weekend. Choppy, yeah. Jillian, sometimes it looks choppy in the live, but after YouTube uploads, it's much smoother. Well, hopefully that's the case. Hopefully that's the case. You have way more experience, I think, with live streaming than I do. I've been going by the seat of my pants. But yeah, so I sprained my ankle last week. That's doing better. My ankle is doing much better. Even though I overdid it yesterday shopping. We will get into that. And of course, my video was delayed uploading a week because my hard drive failed. I got my new hard drive. So that's exciting. Very excited. I got my new hard drive and I got the video uploaded. And I think it was Bear who said maybe the hard drive failing was a blessing in disguise. And I think you were right because I am so much happier with the video that I uploaded on Friday than the original cut that I was doing. And the response I've gotten has been really positive, and so I'm really pleased that all the turmoil that I went through last weekend over that video, I feel like was well worth it. And it just goes to show that sometimes when you have a setback with a project that you're working on, it all works out in the end. And I feel that way about my latest video, which was Knitting Secrets Revealed, the upside down world of knitting. So, and I saw your comment, Jillian, just as I was coming on. Thank you so much. That was so sweet. Yes. So, yesterday, I went shopping. I had to go pick up my hard drive. I had to go to Kohl's to return something to Amazon, just some sunscreen, and oh my gosh, the line at Kohl's to return something to Amazon was ginormous. I got there 12 minutes after the store had opened, right? So not right when, I wasn't right there when the doors opened and rushed into Kohl's, but I was there really, like, plenty early enough not to have to wait in a huge line. Oh no, I waited in a huge line. It wasn't exactly Christmas Story waiting for Santa line, but it felt that way because people kept walking up going, is this the line for Amazon? And then you're like, back there, all the way back there, lady, mister, gentleman, ma'am. So anyway, I digress. And then I went and I had a little shopping trip to Michael's. So I'm going to show you what I got at Michael's. Now, Michael's is a store that I have joined their affiliate program with. So just know that yes, I am an affiliate at Michael's. I did vlog my trip there, and I think that when you see that vlog, you're going to discover that just because I'm an affiliate somewhere doesn't mean it's all sunshines and rainbows. Because I moved to my house about a year and a half ago. So this was actually the first trip to Michael's that I have taken, the Michael's near me. Normally when I go to Michael's, it's in another part of Los Angeles where I get my hair done because my hairstylist, her salon is right next to a Michael's. I mean, how perfect is that? I get my hair done, I go into Michael's. Like, that is my ritual. But so this was the first time I'd gone into this Michael's, and it's smaller. It's a smaller Michael's. The yarn selection, that is good. Janet, hello. I finally got things to work. You and me both, Janet. You and me both. This has been an interesting morning so far. But I did not go to Michael's for yarn. I went to Michael's because, inspired by Jillian, who's with us today, her video, I am going to make a homemade drop spindle and learn how to drop spindle. So I'm going to show you what I got. Let me get my overhead cam. Transition. There we go. All right. Whoops. Here we go. It's not a ton. It's not a ton of stuff I got at Michael's, but I did get stuff. I got Magic Model Crayola Model Magic. Sorry the lighting's not better. I'm still trying to get better lighting here on this overhead camera, but this is the Model Magic. I got fun colors. Jillian, yay! Yes. I got fun colors. I chose green and pink because green and pink in a lot of ways are my favorite colors. I'm a green and pink kind of gal, which not really surprising if you ever go to my website or anything, because I brand everything green and pink. I also love blues and purples and oranges and all the colors. Yellow and I have an interesting relationship, but I got green and pink. So I'm not going to need all of this. So not only is this really a gift for myself, it's also a gift for my daughter. So I'm going to be making my drop spindle out of this. Yes, I plan to do the whole thing on video and upload that for you, so you will get to see that. And I got the rods. I got dowels here. These were the 1/4 inch dowels. Something that was really annoying about Michael's. This is their brand of dowels. There is nothing on the packaging that indicates what size dowels these are. The only indication of the size was on the price tag. So, yay, Janet, my comments are not displaying on the screen. Oh, I see you, Janet. I see you here. Are you not and I see you on the feed as well, so I see you. Bear, careful, you may end up getting addicted to spinning. I know. It could go either way. This could become one of those crafts that I try and I get excited about for about 5 seconds, and then I'm like, falls by the wayside. I have a whole closet, of abandoned crafts, you know? It's like the island of abandoned crafts in parts of my space. Sometimes I go back to them. Jillian, I'm so excited for this. I know. I am excited as well. I did order the roving, so I have that on its way, although I have to get in touch with the store that I got it at because somehow I got it from Knit Picks. I just went with Knit Picks because I know Wool of the Andes, and it seemed like that would be a good beginner roving to try this with. I am an affiliate with Knit Picks as well. And I had a friend who made a drop spindle out of chopsticks and a large wooden button. It works. Oh, that's yeah. I could see how that works because really you just need a staff, a rod, and then you need a weight so that it'll spin. So it doesn't take much, I guess, to build a drop spindle. Bear, I started with a drop spindle a few months back, and now I have a wheel. See, I did actually, Bear. I did see on Instagram your photo of your drop spindle, and I thought about you this morning when I saw it, and I was like, oh, she's gonna find out. She's gonna find out. I'm trying the spindle side of life. That's all I got at Michael's. I just got the drop spindle project materials, but I did really well because the Crayola, everything was buy one, get one 50% off. And Michael's, until I have to double check, it's on Fiber Happenings, but Michael's until like the end of fall, either the end of September or the end of October, have a 20% off coupon off your regular priced purchases. So it's actually a good time with Michael's if you have that coupon, if you need something like storage or anything, and to check out what they have. They usually have sales on their storage stuff as well. Yes, I am an affiliate, so, but that's not the only reason I'm saying all this. I genuinely think I like Michael's. Joann's is less expensive. I'm going to be honest. I usually find Joann's is less expensive and has better coupons and better deals. So I usually start at Joann's for things, and then we'll check out Michael's as well. But it's just what you happen to hit on any particular time. So that's what I got at Michael's. I'm very excited to start on that project. I will keep you all updated as it progresses. Jillian, I think this is so awesome. I love getting money to craftspeople who make amazing. Aw. Yes, it is. I mean, and I think that's the thing in terms of making sure things are accessible. I mean, okay, I like affordable crafting. And I'm realizing this is becoming a theme with me, even as I was going through Michael's. You'll see the vlog, because I am going to edit that together at some point. But I was looking through the Notion section, and there was this thing that they had to make a tassel maker, right? And it's just a little square plastic frame. That's all it is. And I'm just like, somebody... If it brings you joy and you think it makes things easier for you and it's worth it to you to buy that for $7, okay, fine. But there's so many things in crafting where I'm like, that tool is so not necessary. You can make it out of cardboard from like one of the 5 billion Amazon boxes that you have received and make a tassel maker or a pom-pom maker and not have to buy these gadgets. And it's funny that I have this attitude now because I love gadgets. I'm normally a gadget girl. Go gadget girl. But I think I've been burned so many times by gadgets that I thought was going to make my life easier that didn't. Now I'm very skeptical of gadgets where I'm like, is this really something I need? Is it really? But yeah, I like it when we can make crafting accessible. Janet, it just popped up, but I wrote it 2 minutes ago. Am I doing something wrong? I don't think you are. I don't think you are, Janet. The feed was a little rough to start anyway today, so I'm wondering if there's something on YouTube's end, frankly. Yeah, I wonder if there's something on YouTube's end that's going on. Okay, what next? Preach! Yes, preach! Looking forward to seeing your spindle when it's all done. I still love my simple little spindle. Yeah, you know, and it's, look, I get, you know, we all love... Stop, think, use your words. it is nice when we have pretty things to work with. It does kind of add to the enjoyment of a project, but sometimes something simple is just exactly what you need, you know? Drop spindle, talked about that. That is coming up. I'm going to show you my progress, and this will lead into why I had to buy Hiya Hiya tips, which, yes, they are here. Good. Looking forward to seeing. Hey, Be in Char Designs. The screen comments lag quite a bit normally. Yeah. I put the screen comments that you see on the screen, I have those up mostly for replay for people who might watch the video later so that they might have an easier time following along with the conversation. Speaking of, I forgot to do something, which is, hey, please remember to give this video a thumbs up. And if you are watching on the replay, comment down below. So yeah, but I'm going to show you my progress on the tunic that I showed you last week because I'm very excited about this. I'm really, really very, very pleased about how this has been turning out. So here it is. I wish the lighting were better. I brought in my OttLight to try to bring more light onto this, but I need to scrim it off because it's too bright. You'll see. Here, I'll show you. I'm gonna blast the light. Like, whoop, too much light. It needs to be scrimmed off, so that's why still working on the light situation on the overhead. But yeah, so this is how it's looking now, and I am in love. I'm in love with this stitch pattern. Let me see if I can bring it down. I'm gonna bring my overhead down a little bit more, and I might have to bring this up a bit more so you can really see this. It's just so pretty, I think. I love this stitch pattern. What I love about it, I love the texture and the movement of the stitches, right? And that's gorgeous. And oh, you know what? That's the back. That's not even the best part. That was the wrong side of the knitting. This is the front. Look how beautiful that is. Look how beautiful that is. But even the back is pretty. Even the back is super pretty. But yeah, look at, I mean, the movement of the stitches is just so gorgeous. I love that flow and this little chain, you know, just kind of classic sort of cable chain. But what I love is this pattern done, Whitney, very pretty, yes. This pattern done in this, this is a cellulose-based fiber. This is quartz looped, this is loop-de-loop quartz. It's a discontinued yarn, but it's a viscous linen silk metallic blend. I have that memorized. And what I love is that because this isn't wool and it doesn't have the elasticity, the purl stitches and these eyelets around here open everything up more, and so it has an almost lacy look to it. Hey Natalia, welcome. Thanks for joining us today. So love, love, love how this is turning out. I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited about it that I almost want to redo the front of the tunic now to add this to it. I'm not going to. I'm sticking with the plan. Sticking with the plan, but I'm just like, suddenly I want to do this stitch pattern in everything. I want to do gloves. I want to do a cowl. I could probably do a hat. I just want to do this stitch pattern in everything. I am so in love with it. It's just so gorgeous. I could stare at it all day long. I won't. That would be boring for all of you, but I could. I absolutely could. And it's fun to work. It is twisted stitches throughout here. So there's a couple of challenging things about this stitch pattern. This is from the Japanese Stitch Bible. Let me get the book. Jillian, yeah, the stitches are so crisp. Yep. Yep. And you know, it's funny. I actually always really enjoy the crispness that cotton and linen yarns give to stitches. I think it's just so pretty. But the stitch pattern now is out of this book, the Japanese Knitting Stitch Bible. And this here, it's hard to see it because it's dark. It's in a dark yarn, but this is what it looks like in a wool fiber. So that's what it looks like in the sample. And yeah, it's gorgeous. So excited about this. I'm still working through the shaping portion of this. And what will happen is this is going to be, if I can pull it off, a razorback. So what I'm going to do is this is going to continue all the way up the center, and then when the razor splits off for the two shoulder straps, this part of the motif will end, but I'm going to continue this chain up either side like that towards it. So Janet, do you block? I always do, but most people on my Facebook group say they never block. First of all, if you are washing, I gotta do this video. I really gotta do it. Although Kate Atherley, she recently did an article in, I'll have to find the link, Modern Knitting, I forget exactly where she put the article, but this is a thing. And it's complicated because when people say blocking, sometimes they mean different things. But I'm of the opinion that if you are washing your knits after you have finished, which you should be, I mean, please wash your knits. It helps prevent moths. You are doing at least some blocking. So the answer is yes, I always block. I think more the question is, do I always pin block my work? And the answer to that is no. I don't always pin block my work. That is a very situational situation. How clever of you, Carrie. Situational situation. Anyway, it really depends. I usually pin block for one of two reasons. One, it's lace and you need to open up the stitches, and you need to pin block lace. That's a given. Lace will never be fully realized until you pin block it. There's no way around that. So I always pin block my lace. I will pin block things where I can get the curl out. In fact, do I have it on my Instagram? I can't remember, but this item I will be pin blocking. I will be pin blocking this, and that is because when you pin block, this only works with natural fibers. It does not work with acrylic. Notice the curl here that's happening. You always get this curl with stockinette, and it has to do with the fact that knit stitches are rectangular, and with stockinette, because you have all your purl bumps on one side and your running stitches on one side and all your legs on the other, there's a discrepancy between the front and the back of the work that causes a curl. I explained all this better in another video than what I'm doing right now, but my knitting fundamentals, I'm pretty sure either in episode 3 of Knitting Fundamentals or in episode 4 where I discussed garter stitch, I explained why stockinette knitting curls. But with natural fibers, you can get the curl out with pin blocking. You can absolutely get the curl out of stockinette if you do a pin blocking. Does not work with acrylic. I have never in my life been able to get acrylic knitted in stockinette to get the curl out. That you need a border to prevent from curling. So I will be pin blocking this. Not a huge pin block. I'm not going to stretch it, to here to eternity or anything like that, but it's situational, whether you need to pin block something. I have a cowl. There's photos of it on my Instagram. It's a green and cream cowl that I knitted. It has a Latvian braid border, and it's a mosaic stitch pattern. That curled because it was mosaic knitting. It was a stockinette knit. It curled, And on my Instagram, there is a video of me, a little 1-minute video of me blocking it. And you will see that I used pins in that blocking, and that got the curl out. So it depends on what you want to achieve. Blocking is a really lengthy conversation to have if you really want to get in depth about it. But yeah, people who say they never block, I'm like, first of all, are you washing your knits? Because if you're washing your knit, I'm of the opinion that you are doing some blocking, some minimal blocking through that process. Because what blocking does, and I know I'm just kind of doing stream of consciousness right now, but what blocking does is, and the washing does and everything, is after you finish knitting, the fibers are all tense and, oh, I've been worked so hard, and the water, the warmth, the slight stretch allows the fibers to relax, everything to open up, and then the knitting becomes more realized. Sometimes to get those fibers to open up completely, they need a pin. It needs to be stretched a bit more and pinned down. Other times, you don't need that. If you're knitting socks, for example, if you're knitting socks, wash them, lay them flat, you know, do what you gotta do, but you don't need to put them on blockers and stretch them out more. It's not necessary. As Kate Atherley says, your feet are your blockers. Hats, kind of depends if you need to stretch out the hat a little bit while it's blocking, but most things like that, I don't pin block, I lay flat and do some magic, but that's a much longer video that I need to do at some point, you know? But yeah, that's one of those things on Facebook groups that always gets a little like, sticks under my craw a little bit, is when people ask about blocking and people come on very confidently say like, oh, such a waste of time. Blocking is never a waste of time. How you block matters, and there's various ways to block your work, but blocking is never a waste of time. So, yes, please wash your work, block when necessary, and that's what I have to say about it. If there's any other questions about that, so please let me know if you have any other questions as we go along. If not, we are racing right along today. I hope I'm not speaking too quickly, by the way. If I do start speaking too quickly, feel free to pop on, go, can you just bring it down a little? Slow it down, Carrie? It's fine. We are going to try to do Pattern Spotlight. I am determined to make this work. Technology has failed me the last 2 weekends, but we are going to try this weekend together. I believe that we can make this happen. Not a lot for you to do except send me well wishes. So let me get to this. Okay, so far so good. My preview screen is showing that it's there. Let me make sure that blocking is never a waste of time, Carrie 2020. Trademark. Blocking is never a waste of time. Okay. Oh, okay. I know why. I want to close that window real quick and make sure I'm set where I want to be before we do this. Okay. Okay. So, I'm nervous. I'm nervous about this working. Let's try, but I think it's going to work this week. All right. So we are going to do a little pattern spotlight. I'm going to show you a little bit of highlights from Fiber Happenings, which Fiber Happenings is part of the Fiber Indie List page on my website, knitswhereit'sat.com. You can find all those links in the description box, of course. And we're going to just get started on that. So first thing I'm going to show you is actually, this is, oh, come on. No, it's not showing up. It's there in my preview screen. Why won't it show up? Didn't work again. I don't know why this doesn't work. It should be working. I don't get it. Let me do this. And do you guys see anything except a white square? Let me try this. Try that. Nope. Black square. Nope. Nothing. All right. It's just not going to work. Wah, wah, wah. I don't know why it's not working. It's showing up in my preview screen. Like, it totally shows up in my preview screen. But then when I go to share it, nothing. I wonder if there's some copyright block. Wait. Oh. There we go. Okay. I don't know why that just happened. Why I just disappeared. Anyway, so that was going to be a nice little chunk of time that I no longer have planned out for. So I am going to talk real quickly, though, about my blog post, because that was going to be part of Pattern Spotlight. And I think I have to just give up the ghost and recognize that I'm just going to have to show screenshots instead of sharing my desktop, because clearly not working. Not working at all. Don't know why. I'm just so bummed about it. I don't understand why it's not working. Anyway, so I don't know if you all read my blog post on Wednesday, but it was about the website that we are not talking about. But I can't stop talking about it anyway because they keep doing things. But Ravelry amplified a good thing, which is a project called Empower People. And Janet, coffee cups and knitting bags merchandising. But Ravelry did amplify a good cause, which is called Empower People. I'm not going to get into all of my feelings about all of that in my thoughts. If you want to know what I think about all of it, please go read my blog post. Really, everything I need to say about it is there. But I wanted to amplify Empower People 2020 myself because it is a very good craftivism cause. And yeah, it's really, they are a group of spinners and dyers who have gotten together, who are using their crafting to help bring a message about voting in 2020, which is something I think is very important no matter where you are on the political spectrum. Get out there and vote and have a plan to vote. And if you go to vote.org or you just Google plan to vote, you will get lots of resources on making sure that you are registered to vote, where you can vote, when you can vote, whether you can vote by mail, how you can vote by mail, all of it. So make a plan to vote because it's a part of our civic responsibility, and it's all a way that we can help make the world a better place, which is to use our right to vote. And not everyone in the world has this sort of right. We as Americans, I think, sometimes take it for granted, and we really should not, because it's not a guarantee that the right to vote will last forever. It's not. It's not. Ever. Wow, there really is a long delay on your comments, Janet. So, Empower People 2020, one of the things that they are doing is called the Purple Bandana Project. On their website, they have free patterns, crochet, knitting, a brioche pattern, sewing, but to make your own purple bandana that you can wear, out and about during craftivism, when you go vote, or just when you're shopping. But you can wear this purple bandana and help show your support for Empower People 2020 and getting out the vote. You can show pictures of it on your Instagram and help amplify this project. And I do think it's a really positive thing that we can all be doing in the world, kind of bringing our crafting and good causes together. So I did want to amplify that, still going to amplify it. If you go to my website, knitswhereit'sat.com, go to the Fiber Indie List main page. You will find links and information about Empower People 2020 and find their patterns and everything. And yeah, it's a good cause. So, like I said, I was planning to spend some time showing you guys pretty patterns, and there's such pretty ones. I'm so bummed about this. I can't even begin to tell you, and unfortunately, it just takes too much for me to try in real time to do screenshots and pop them up on the screen through my software. oh. You might hear my daughter in the background. My husband and my daughter are home. It's so hot in LA, guys. Oh my God. I'm glistening right now. I'm glistening because it's hot. I woke up this morning and it was 92 degrees out in LA, where I live. At 10, it was already over 100 degrees. I have no idea how hot it is right now, but I know I am glowing. And this is the glow of it being freaking hot outside. That's all that. Oh, I know what I forgot. Came back to me. Hiya Hiya. Why did I have to buy Hiya Hiya tips? Okay, so I showed you the pretty project. And my sister and I, every Monday, here's the story. My sister and I, every Monday, we get together for what we call, well, it used to be Sister Sunday, now it's Sister Monday. But we get together online, we watch a movie together, a bad one normally, make fun of it. We do a makeup theme. It's a whole big thing, ever. It's hot in BC. I can't imagine being in LA. Yeah. So you're in British Columbia ever? Yeah. I'm assuming that's what BC stands for, is British Columbia. And last Monday, I was like, you know what? While we're watching the movie, we'll just go ahead and I'll just knit some more. Why don't I knit? So I brought out my needle, and I don't know if it's going to show up really well on camera, but I went and I picked up my needle, and it was bent like 60 degrees. My Hiya Hiya size 5 needle tip was bent like 60 degrees. I have no idea how this happened. Like, you know, normally, if you bend your needle like 60 degrees, like 45, 60 degrees, you're going to notice that you did it, right? No idea. No idea how it happened. I was able to bend it back. I don't know if you can see right there, right here, is a crimp in the needle. Like, I don't know how it happened. Like, I can't right now. I'm trying to bend it. Well, and I can't. This is a stainless steel needle. Oh no, bears. Oh no, right? It's a stainless steel needle. How do you just inadvertently, without noticing, bend a stainless steel needle? It boggles the mind. It makes no sense. I swear, I sat there. I wish I had photos of the look on my face when I picked up the needle, because I was just like, ever. Oh, poor needle. Ouch. I know. It was terrible. I was so upset. It was just like, and it was like the final straw for what had been a rough weekend. I mean, I'd sprained my ankle, my hard drive failed. Like, and I was not in a great mood. I was not in a great mood. My spraining my ankle really got me down. I'm still bummed about it, but anyway, so I was at least able to get the needle bent back so it was straight, so I could keep knitting until, oh, it's not in here. Lord, I'm not doing so hot, guys. Anyway, I bought new needle tips. I went, I got online. I bought new Hiya Hiya size 5 5-inch needle tips. Sorry, I'm hearing my daughter. I'm pretty sure she's quoting Pete the Cat. What? I don't know if any of you have ever heard of or watched Pete the Cat. It's actually really adorable. But anyway, yeah, Hiya Hiya. It's not just that the needle bent. It's that it was straight 1 second. I looked at it, it was straight. I picked it up and carried it to another room. I got set up. And then the next second, it's bent 45, 60 degrees. Like, how does that happen? I don't know. I don't know how it happened. I'll never know how it happened. Thankfully, I was able to buy new tips. That, like, the most expensive thing in the world, because you can always, with interchangeable needles, you can always buy just a single set of tips. in any size. So you can replace your tips if they get damaged somehow, they get lost somehow. But it was not something I was planning to buy, and holy crap. It's getting hotter by the second, guys. It's getting hotter by the second. You're gonna watch this video, and as it goes along, I'm just melting. So yeah, were you watching Yuri Geller reruns? Right? No, I was not watching Yuri Geller reruns. Maybe this spirit, is Yuri Geller still alive? If not, maybe his spirit came into my room, said, Carrie, it's time to believe. It's time. Maybe there was an internal flaw. Did the manufacturer replace? There could have been an internal flaw. You never know. These needles were gifted to me about 3 years ago now? 3 years ago, I think. So at the time, I was so beside myself, I didn't even think about reaching out to Hiya Hiya to see if they would replace the tips, which is normally like what I would tell anybody else. I was just like, I gotta get new needles. I gotta get them now. I gotta get these now. Look at this pretty thing I'm making. I need my tips. I could reach out to them though, probably, and see if maybe they replace them and then just return them to Amazon where I bought them. Because yes, I'm gonna admit something. I know. Hi, Mom. Your scarf is lovely, Carrie, but take it off, cool off a bit. That's my mom. Mom, that's way too practical. I have an aesthetic here happening. I can't give up the aesthetic for comfort. My silken shawl will be enough. That's an old joke in the family about, there's a story of a woman, and it's winter, and she keeps saying her silken shawl will be enough as she goes out into the cold, and she ends up dead in the end. So anyway. So yeah, my Hiya Hiya bent, but we got the new set in, so that's good. I gotta switch those needles out today. Technology has failed me again on trying to show patterns. I keep thinking if maybe I just go back, it might work. Let's try again. Maybe just giving it a little moment. Nope, didn't work. I gotta figure out why that's happening. It's really annoying me. And now I'm kind of like spinning a little bit because I had a whole plan on what I was gonna do during this, and like a good 20-minute section of my plan just went. So I'm kind of, anyone have questions? If you have questions, please ask. Because I'm like trying to figure out what to talk about for the next 13 minutes. Playbacks. Trying to think what else is going on. Oh my god, it's so hot. Even if I took the scarf off, frankly, it would still be really hot. So we're going to try the spinning. The roving is going to be coming in soon. Gonna be shooting my next video and debating some different ideas on what to do next. So let me know what you think. Here are my ideas for my next videos. Which one would you be most interested in? 1, 3 or 4, maybe 5. I would love it to be 5 cast-ons. Every knitter should know. I'm actually really kind of excited about that idea, especially because I wouldn't have to do a lot of swatches to prep it. Boss knitting, how to substitute decreases. That's another idea that I've got going on. And 3, back to school is coming, right? Surprising notions and tools to get at the back to school sale or sales or in office supplies, maybe, so it's not so seasonal. So any of those, go, yes, that's the one. Let me know in the comments, please. Because I'm always looking for video ideas. And I always love to know what you guys are kind of jonesing for in terms of videos, because that helps me prioritize shooting. Janet, I can just see your mom roll her eyes. You want to know what my mom probably looked like when she said that? Because I look just like my mom. All right? She's like, it was probably something like, honey, your scarf is lovely, but take it off to cool off a bit. Hugs. I like all those bears. Notions. Yeah, yeah, Sam. Okay, good. I actually like the Notions idea too. I feel like I've been talking a lot about Notions. I should have done Notions November, because then, you know, nice little bit of alliteration. But I do feel like Notions have really been on my mind lately for some reason that I can't even begin to explain. Tish, Mom, this is a little weird, but a few ice chips tucked into the top of your bra helps cool you off. Learn that trick while golfing. Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. Unfortunately, I don't have any ice cubes nearby to stick into my bra. I wish I had. When on my honeymoon, we went on a Mediterranean cruise, and we were in Pompeii, and it was so hot, but my husband and I, we had scarves, and we would wet the scarf, and then old hiking trip, spin it in the air to cool it, and then you put it on your neck, and that was very refreshing. Cast on video. Yeah, the cast on video too. I think that's always like a good idea. Sam, which bind off best matches the long tail cast off? Yes. Okay, so here, I'll tell you right now. There is a bind off that matches the long tail cast on perfectly and beautifully. And that is a sewn bind off. That's it. Now, and I love the sewn bind off. You have to use a tapestry needle to do it. Can't really explain it here in a live stream. But if you Google, you will find information on it. The thing that's tricky with the sewn bind off is you have to use yarn. You're basically using the cast off tail. Excuse me. Let me take that back. To do the sewn bind off. To do the sewn bind off, you need, depending on the size of the project, you need enough yarn to do the cast off with. And I have done the sewn bind off on over 100 stitches. In fact, that cowl that I mentioned earlier that I did the pin blocking on to get the curl out, I did a sewn bind off on that edge because I wanted the two to match. I don't recommend it though. It works better on smaller pieces, which is why if you are doing something like a cowl and you really want the bind off and the cast off to match, that is a situation where I wouldn't necessarily use the long tail cast on. I would use another cast on that has a easier to do matching bind off. But yes, the traditional bind off that most people learn, the chain bind off, which is actually one of my least favorite bind offs in the world, doesn't match all that well to the long tail cast on, because structurally they're totally different things happening there. And it's interesting, a lot of times it's not discussed, and I think a lot of times that's not discussed because people are usually thinking of more sewn items when they're thinking about bind offs, right? Because if I'm like this that I'm working on, my tunic, I'm going to be sewing together the shoulder straps from the front and the back piece. It doesn't matter in that situation if my bind off matches my cast on. But let's say you're making a scarf. In that situation, yeah, it's really nice to have a matching cast on and bind off so you don't know which end you started and ended from. And it just looks a little more professional and a little more clean. So, and a scarf is actually a really good situation to use the sewn bind off so you can have a matching long tail cast on and bind off. Because usually most scarves aren't going to be such a large number of stitches that it's cumbersome to do the sewn bind off. The concept of matching cast-ons and bind-offs would be great. Yeah, that is a good idea. As I was talking about, I was like, yeah, I could talk about that. What about a bind-off for German twist cast-on? What's best? That's something I need to research more, truth be told. I think that, because the thing with the German twist cast-on is it is basically to give more elasticity to the edge, creating an additional twist of yarn. I think actually the yarn over bind off works pretty well for matching. The yarn over bind off is basically the standard bind off, but you do a yarn over so you I'm trying to think through. So you would do a knit to start the bind off with a yarn over bind off. You knit the first stitch, you do a yarn over, you knit the second stitch, then you would pass over the yarn over and the first stitch over the second stitch, right? Then you do a yarn over, knit your stitch, pass the yarn over and the stitch over that new stitch. That's the yarn over bind off. I really like the yarn over bind off actually for stretchy bind offs because it's easy to do, and it's the same concept of the German twist, which is you're adding elasticity by adding an extra twist of yarn to the bind off, and it's actually a really nice stretchy bind off. I like it for socks. I know there's like the surprisingly stretchy bind off and a couple of others, but I actually really like the yarn over bind off. Sometimes it can be too stretchy, but yeah, that off the top of my head is the bind off that probably matches best. But I'd have to do some more research to see if there's a better, really matching bind off to the German twist cast on. Although if you want to, well, I mean, it depends. You might be just really enjoying German twist cast on and using it in all sorts of situations. For me personally, when I use German twist cast on, I use that for things like hats and tops of socks where I need a stretchy but firm cast on because it's going to be a little bit hard wearing and I want it to be able to stand up to the test of time, but I still need some elasticity to it. So I like Icelandic bind off for the German twist cast on. Okay, yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one. Maybe that's the video. The top, maybe it's a two-parter. The top cast-ons everyone needs to know, and the top bind-offs that everyone needs to know. Because it's amazing. It really is how long you can be in knitting, a knitter, and not know that there's more than one cast-on and bind-off. Like, I learned pretty quickly that there was more than one cast-on, but I think I was knitting for a good 10 years before I learned that there was more than one bind off. There was more than one way to bind off. I had no idea. Books never talked about it, you know, and I learned from books mostly. And yeah, I didn't know for years. That was a game changer. Decrease bind off is my favorite bind off to do. That's like my go-to bind off. I have a video about it, but I need to do an updated one because I should be writing all these down. I need to do an updated one because I changed the way I do the decrease bind off, but I love decrease bind off because it does the same thing structurally and functionally as a chained bind off, but I think it's way easier to do and keep good tension. I think my video on the decrease bind off was the second or third video I ever did, so if you're interested in that, you can definitely check that out. Haha, I looked up 4 different ways to cast on my very first project. That's smart, Ever. Oh, well, you know though, when I learned to knit, I didn't have access to the internet. I mean, the internet existed, right? But I didn't have access to it. Like, it wasn't like this prevalent thing. I was, when did I start teaching myself how to knit? I was 21. I got a book. I'll show you the book. It was this book. This is the first book I ever got. It's the complete encyclopedia of needlework. So it's not just knitting in this book, it's everything. There's tatting, there's bobbin lace, there's needlepoint, all sorts of stuff. This book became affectionately known amongst my friends as the asbestos book. Because this book was written in the late 1800s, and there is advice in here that to keep your hands dry while knitting, just have a little bag of asbestos sitting next to you so you can dip your fingers in it to keep your hands dry while you're working on your needles. And your needles, to keep them from rusting, put in a little bag of asbestos. That'll keep them from rusting. Obviously did not follow that advice, but this is the book that I learned to knit from. And there wasn't a whole lot of discussion about different there were descriptions of different cast-ons, but I was just learning. So I didn't even know the first cast-on that I learned to do was the E-cast-on. And I'll just put this over here for now. Bear, Lori's twisty bind-off is great for socks and any other ribbed edge. Stretchy but doesn't flare and look sloppy like JSSB does. Yeah. I'll have to look at Lori's twisty bind-off. I haven't seen that one. I'm not sure if that's in my Capsese book, which I don't know why I just looked over at my bookshelf. I have the Capsese book on my Kindle. That would work. Yeah, right, Ever? The asbestos would work. Might kill you, but it would work. So, yeah. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's the book but yeah, when I was learning how to knit, I didn't have a computer. I didn't have access to the internet. I was like 20, 21. I'm trying to remember if it was the summer before my senior year. It was the summer before my senior year of college. Finally remembered. And I was home at the time. My parents did not have internet at the house. I had to go to the library if I wanted to be on the internet. There was no YouTube. There was no nothing, okay? There was nothing at that time. I mean, there was stuff on the internet, but there wasn't a lot. And I learned how to knit from books. That's how I did it. And later on, when everything started, you know, YouTube, Craftsy. By the way, Craftsy is back. Yes, I got the email from TN Marketing that Craftsy is back. Let me just say, it's very rough right now. I was able to get back on. So when I got the email, I went to go log on. They did tell you that you were going to have to reset your password as if you had forgotten your password to get back onto your account. So I did, but it took a while. Like, I was getting error messages and all sorts. Like, at one point, it's like you try to log in too many times, we're locking you out. So I couldn't actually get back into my account till the next day. But I finally got back into my account, and that's swell. I now have access to the videos again, but they're still working on getting everybody's account information moved over onto their system. And so the videos that I had purchased over the years before they had like the subscription service, still don't have those. Don't know how long that's going to take to get over. I mean, I think this whole thing with Craftsy happened so quickly that TN Marketing, I mean, it's great that they bought the videos and that, you know, and that, sorry, I lost my train of thought. It's great that the Craftsy video library was bought by TN Marketing, and they're setting up a space so that people can still have access to them and everything. But it has been a total rush job, and one of my mutual followers on Twitter, like, they can't even find her account, and it's like, so this is gonna be a rough transition. If you're into Craftsy, if you ever bought videos on Craftsy, just buckle up. It's gonna be a rough transition. But this all happened so quickly with Craftsy. So, damn it. Love Lori's. Oh, now I gotta check it out. Ever. I started last year. I'm really, really glad I learned before COVID. Yes. Yeah, there's a good time for a hobby. Yeah. I have to say, when this all started with COVID, I was like, I'm really glad that I'm a crafter. I'm really glad. Sitting at home, knitting, like, it's not the worst thing in the world. But also, I was really glad I had already started my YouTube channel because I felt like, okay, I have things at home to keep me busy. But yeah. Okay, so it's 12. If anybody has any last minute questions, now is the time to ask. Otherwise, I gotta get into my closing spiel. Gotta wrap things up. Gotta go put some ice in my bra because I gotta cool off. Thanks, Mom. Welcome to my family. Oh, real quick though. I remember, was it last live stream or the one before, I asked about possibly doing a knit along, possibly next month. I am working on that. I'm working on getting something set up. I'm not going to get into all the details now. Got to keep you, keep you in suspense. Keep you coming back. Cliffhanger. But yes, I am working on getting together. One of the big things I had to figure out was where to possibly do a knit along. And I didn't want to do it on Facebook. I have feelings about Facebook, and I just trying to figure out where would be a good space. I think I got something figured out. Kind of excited about it. Still working around, so I don't want to get too many details. So stay tuned for more information about a possible knit along, possibly with these gloves. I could never be a model. I'm too much of a comedian. Anyway, so stay tuned for that. We'll be talking about that more next week. If you have not already, make sure that you give this video a like. And I'm pretty sure all y'all are subscribed to my channel, but if not, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit that notification bell. If you're watching this on playback, thank you for watching, and try to make it live next week. As you can see, you never know what's going to happen. Never know where the conversation might go. Never know when the plans are going to go off the rails. But we still have a good time. But if you are watching on this playback, please comment below. Be part of the conversation there. You absolutely can. And if you're not, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Hitting the notification bell will always let you know when I upload a new video, when I schedule a live stream, and when live streams are starting. If you aren't, also follow me on social media. I'm very active on Twitter. Very active on Twitter. I'm also active on Instagram. And I have a Facebook page. Check out the Facebook page. And yeah, but follow me on social media because I'm always talking about what's going on. And if you were on Twitter, you already knew that there was something going on with the model magic. I think that's all the plugs. Oh, no, it's not all the plugs. Fiber Indie List. Fiber Indie List. That is my list of knitters, crochet designers, and yarnies that have accessible, non-Ravelry methods, e-commerce sites. They are selling their work. So the Fiber Indie List is a really great resource. It's just every designer, and I know it's easy for me to say this. It's like, Carrie, you're plugging your list. Of course you think all the designers are amazing. No, truly. All the designers are amazing. If you don't believe me, in the description box are links to Lovecrafts and Etsy. On those, I have my pages that have some of my favorite work patterns from the TFIL, some of the designers on the TFIL list, the ones that have Lovecrafts or Etsy stores, I have favorited on my Etsy and Lovecrafts pages. All those links are down below. Yes, these are affiliate links. If you want to know about affiliate links, check out my FAQ on my website, knitswhereit'sat.com. The Fiber Indie List updates on Mondays and Fridays, and that includes Fiber Happenings. Fiber Happenings is my roundup of new pattern releases, upcoming knit-alongs, sales and promotions from either designers on the Fiber Indie List or just some of the major websites, knitting and crochet focused websites on the internet. All that is on the Fiber Indie List. The Fiber Happenings updates Mondays and Fridays as well. And on Wednesday, I will be having a new blog post up, which will be a supplement to this week's video, and I'm going to have an exclusive video clip. Only will be able to see it on my blog post, showing how you can use almost any cast-on as a professional cast-on. Yes, I'm going to explain it in my blog and have a little video demonstration there for it. So you'll want to check that out. That will be coming up on Wednesday. I think I got all my plugs in. So, you consider adding fiber for spinning or supplies. I can. I started last year. I'm really bears. Could you consider adding fiber for spinning suppliers? Do you mean fiber like places to buy fiber? onto the fiber indie list. I did add a yarny section to the fiber indie list. It's not huge right now. I'm wanting to add more, but yarnies is for spinners and dyers who are selling their work. But I could also look at possibly adding resources for buying supplies. But you know who you should check out? You should check out Jillian Eve, who was with us. I don't know if she's still with us right now, but she was with us earlier. If you go to on my YouTube page, there should be a heading that says subscriptions or other channels, something like that. It has all the channels I'm subscribed to. Jillian, she has spinning videos. She has an Amazon wish list that has all sorts of information on supplies. So she's definitely someone that if you are a spinner, you want to subscribe to her channel. So I'm going to plug her because she is delightful and she's a sweetheart. Bears. Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah. So, but I will see what I can do about trying to expand some of my information about fiber. Obviously, I'm just getting started with the whole concept of spinning, so it's not an area I'm as expert in. So, yeah. But yeah, definitely check out Jillian's. Yeah. So is that everything? I think that's everything. All right, so I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. And as always, oh, wait, I gotta set something up first. Okay, there we go. Now I'm ready to do it. As I was saying, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Oh, and if you're in the United States, happy Labor Day weekend. Enjoy the long weekend because it's not like we're not all living through the longest weekend ever with, COVID-19. And yeah, I'll see you next week. And as always, happy health